Khamzat Chimaev calls out Alex Pereira after UFC 276, and Alex Pereira responds. That's funny. I'm one to, not very good grammar right there, but you kind of get what he means. I'm one to fight this guy at UFC, at Dana White. Let's make it happen with a video right here of Alex Pereira getting his hand raised after knocking out and starching Sean Strickland in the first round. The response, we'll see about that. That's it. That's the response. From the 2-0 against Adesanya kickboxing champion, Alex Poatan Pereira literally just says, we'll see about that. That is all he says. That is all he says. Chimaev wants to fight, obviously, because Chimaev knows Pereira's wrestling and grappling really isn't that best. He knows he can go out there and take him down, out wrestle, out grapple, TKO him, submit him, whatever the case may be, because Alex Pereira is a kickboxer. So again, the fight's never going to happen as long as Pereira is a ranked fighter and until he's a champion. I mean, the only way this fight ever does come to fruition is if Khamzat Chimaev goes out there, starches Kamaru Usman in a UFC title fight for the welterweight belt, defends it against Colby Covington or something like that, and then moves up to the middleweight division, and then, only then, would he be able to fight Alex Pereira if Pereira wins the belts. That's it. Not right now. I mean, right now, while Chimaev is at number 3 or number 4 in the rankings at welterweight, or number 2, and Pereira is at number 6 in the middleweight division, there's zero chance this fight will ever happen. Pereira will never accept it. Dana will never let the fight happen, but it's still funny. Chimaev calling out Alex Pereira. It's smart, because why not? It gets your name in the news a little bit, and, you know, there's no harm in it. I mean, you call him out. If he says no, all right, he says no. If he says yes, dude, you're a top 5 middleweight in the world at that point. So it's worth a shot from Khamzat Chimaev, but he's never going to get the fight. It is never going to happen. Sorry, Chimaev. It's never going to happen. I think Chimaev would absolutely dominate this fight if it ever were to happen. But put your thoughts down below. Chimaev versus Alex Pereira. Mackenzie Dern provides inside scoop on Rose Namajunas' return status. Now, Mackenzie Dern is trying to fight Rose Namajunas. We all know this. Because if Mackenzie Dern wins against Rose Namajunas, it could give her a title shot. Like, honestly, I don't think she deserves it, even if she beats Rose Namajunas. I think Marina Rodriguez and Zhang Weili are two girls that definitely deserve the title shot before Mackenzie Dern, even if Mackenzie Dern beats Namajunas. But this is the best fight. This is the best fight for Mackenzie Dern right here, because it's the most winnable fight in the top 5, and it's the most win-win. Like, if she wins this fight, it really moves up her in the rankings right now. But she spoke recently to Gabriel Gonzalez of the Cage Side Press, and she discussed her next move. The thing was, okay, let's see if we can get a fight with Rose. Dern said the feedback was that Rose wasn't planning on fighting anytime soon, so we're kind of waiting to see if she feels like she wants to fight anytime soon, if she changes her mind. But that's the case right here. Right now, Mackenzie Dern is kind of calling out everyone in the women's strawweight division. She's calling out like Rose Namajunas. She's calling out Zhang Weili. She's trying to get a rematch with Marina Rodriguez. She's trying to go for the title shot against Carla Esparza. I mean, she's down for a Yan Xiaonan fight. She's down to fight Jessica Andrade. She's really down for any fight in this women's strawweight division. Any fight out there, she's really willing to accept almost anything in this women's strawweight division. And one of those fights was against Rose Namajunas. But what we're gathering from this information is that Namajunas is about to go on a big hiatus from MMA. Because we've seen her go on like long breaks in the past. But it seems like after losing to Carla Esparza, it seems like she's gonna take a long time off, because it was November from her win over Zhang Weili right there to the next fight with Carla Esparza. Before that, it was only a few months. So she's been pretty active these last 3 years right there. But if you guys do remember, her loss against Jessica Andrade for the belt right there, she had a long layoff after that. That loss was in May 11th of 2019. She came back to rematch Jessica Andrade July 11th. That is about a year and 2 months. She took about a year and 2 months between that loss and then between when she actually came back. to reintroduce herself in the top 15 and fight again in MMA. She did it again right here. She lost to Carolina Kowalkiewicz, and that loss was in July. It took her about another year, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months before she went on to get another fight inside of the UFC. So that kind of has been a little bit of a theme throughout Rose Namajunas' career, in that she'll lose and then she'll take a really, really long layoff of about a year, and then she'll come back. So my theory on Rose Namajunas is that we'll see her fight probably like maybe a Zhang Weili, maybe the loser of Zhang Weili, Carla Esparza, or something like that in 2023, May, June, somewhere around that timeline. Again, she's not saying she wants to fight anytime soon. Seems like she's going to take another one of those long breaks that she's done in the past after losing inside of the UFC. But put your thoughts down below. I think Zhang Weili, Carla Esparza is what's next. I think Mackenzie Dern probably going to fight someone below her. Marina Rodriguez is probably going to keep on looking to fight Rose Namajunas, but Namajunas is looking like she's going to take a long time off between this fight, between Carla Esparza, and her next fight, between whoever that may be. Put your thoughts down below. In the women's strawweight division, Bryce Mitchell offers to fight Henry Cejudo after talking shit for years. Now, Bryce Mitchell and almost everyone in this featherweight, bantamweight, whatever division, everyone wants a little piece of Triple C. I'll fight Triple C with some bad grammar right there. He's been talking shit on the couch for years now. Now, this is a win-win situation for Bryce Mitchell. If he wins the fight, dude, that almost gets you a title shot at that point. Like, if you beat a former champion, a pound-for-pound top 5 fighter when he was fighting a few years ago, if you win against Henry Cejudo, that's a big thing for your career. But is it ever going to happen? No. Is Henry Cejudo ever going to take the fight? No. Only reason Henry Cejudo would come back to fight would be to fight Deiveson Figueiredo for the belt. I doubt that's going to happen since they're friends, and you really think Cejudo's going to cut all the way down to flyweight? It's not going to happen. Bantamweight, I could see that possibly happening with Aljamain Sterling. But again, the only way he comes back to bantamweight is to fight Aljamain Sterling. He's not going to fight Jan, Dillashaw, Aldo, Sandhagen, Pereira. He's not going to fight any of those guys. And at featherweight, there's zero chance he's going to fight the number 9 guy before he fights Holloway or Volkanovski. So again, this is all fun. This is all fun to say. Bryce Mitchell calling out Henry Cejudo and things like that. But there's literally no chance. There's zero chance this fight's going to happen. Even though Mitchell maybe offering a fight, even though Cejudo might be able to win this fight, whatever the case may be, there's literally a 0% chance the fight happens. But if the fight somehow manages to happen, say Bryce Mitchell goes out there, somehow gets a short notice title fight with Alexander Volkanovski, beats him, and then beats him in a rematch. I mean, it's very far-fetched of me to say anything like that, but just say that happens. Say Bryce Mitchell's the champion, and Henry Cejudo comes back and he fights Bryce Mitchell. Just say somehow in some universe this fight does happen. Who do you guys think wins the fight? Bryce Mitchell or Henry Cejudo? Put your predictions down below, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. Deiveson Figueiredo will stay in the UFC's flyweight division. We've heard news that he might be moving up to go to the bantamweight division ranking, fight maybe Petr Yan, maybe Aljamain Sterling, whoever the case may be. We've heard news that Deiveson might move up to the bantamweight division, but we got news. The Schmo went on an interview with Deiveson Figueiredo, and he asked him a lot of good questions, and this is what Deiveson Figueiredo had to say. It's all good. This fight is going to happen the end of the month, referring to Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France. I'm going to be there to watch this fight to see who's going to be the interim champion. Then by December or January, I'm going to fight the winner of this fight, and I'm training right now in Sao Paulo with Diego Lima at Shootbox. So, bantamweight might be in the future. He's still suggesting that possibly the bantamweight division could be in his future, but he's saying he will at least have one more fight in the UFC's flyweight division with the winner of Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara-France, the number 1 and number 2 flyweight contenders. He'll at least fight them, and then if he wins that one, he'll try to become a double champion against Aljamain Sterling or Petr Yan or TJ Dillashaw, whoever the champion is at the time. But what do you guys think? Do you think Deiveson Figueiredo is doing the right move in staying in the flyweight division for one more fight, or should he move up right away to the bantamweight division? Put your thoughts down below. Do you think he wins against Moreno, and do you think he wins against Kai Kara-France? Put your thoughts down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go. Sean O'Malley says, if you scored the first round for Pedro Munhoz, you're stupid. You are stupid. That is what Sean O'Malley had to say after getting a no contest with Pedro Munhoz at UFC 276. Now, if we look at the statistics for that fight, they were very, very interesting. First off, Pedro Munhoz did not land a single strike to the head of Sean O'Malley in that first round. Look at this. Look at the statistics for the first round. 19 strikes for Pedro Munhoz and 15 strikes for Sean O'Malley in that first round. We had a total of 19 strikes landed to the leg for Pedro Munhoz. 0 to the body and 0 to the head, where Sean O'Malley landed 3 to the leg, 5 to the body, and 7 to the head right there. It's interesting. It is very, very interesting because, number one, the first thing we got to look at is how many of those leg kicks were checked. How many of those leg kicks were checked? Because I guarantee you, at least 4 of them were checked. At least 4 of them. So that automatically gives Sean O'Malley at least more strikes landed in that first round than Pedro Munhoz. Automatically gives him more strikes landed in that first round than Pedro Munhoz. So if you think about it, the strikes right here should be like 13, 14, or 15 strikes for Pedro Munhoz and 15 strikes for Sean O'Malley. They should have at least an even number of strikes, or O'Malley should have a little bit more strikes because he was checking a lot of those leg kicks. And I personally would agree with Sean O'Malley. Some people might think the leg kicks were damaging Sean O'Malley in the fight. Not all of them were. A lot of those leg kicks that Pedro Munhoz were throwing, most of them were getting checked. Plus, the fact that O'Malley was landing more strikes to the head of Pedro Munhoz, landed 7 strikes to the head where it was a jab, it was a straight right, along with 5 body kicks in the round as well, and 3 leg kicks of his own. Personally, I think he would have won the second round, according to the strikes that were landed in the first 2 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever the case may be. I think he would have won that second round, and I think he won the first round as well, because most of those leg kicks were checked, and O'Malley landed the harder shots to the head of Pedro Munhoz. So I agree with O'Malley. I don't think you're necessarily stupid. I just think maybe you're looking at the statistics right here, and you're like, okay, Pedro landed 4 more strikes. Maybe that's why he won. I don't think that was the case. I agree with O'Malley in that the first round should have been scored for Sean O'Malley. But put your thoughts down below. Who do you guys think won the first round with O'Malley and Munhoz? Put your thoughts down below. Alright, that is it for today's MMA news. Sean O'Malley scored in the first round for Pedro Munhoz. Says you are stupid. I don't think you're stupid. I do agree with O'Malley that the first round should go towards Sean O'Malley. But I don't think you're stupid if you think the other way, because it still was a very, very close round. But according to the judges' criteria, effective striking and damage, most of the damage landed was from O'Malley. We also had, in MMA news for today, we had Deiveson Figueiredo saying he will stay in the UFC's flyweight division and fight against the winner of Brandon Moreno and, of course, Kai Kara-France, and then he will move over to the bantamweight division. We also have Bryce Mitchell offering to fight Henry Cejudo, which is pretty funny. I don't know why. He just said he was going to. And then we have Mackenzie Dern saying that Rose Namajunas is going to be gone for quite a while, most likely about a year between the time that her last fight with Carla Esparza and the time that she will return to the UFC octagon. And the last thing is Khamzat Chimaev calling out Alex Pereira. Some crazy news today. Put your thoughts down below on all of these MMA news topics. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And maybe we'll go one more thing in the, I guess, boxing welterweight division. Jake Paul set to face Hasim Rahman Jr. for August 6th boxing return. I mean, this is just out of nowhere. He's finally getting a guy with, a decent record in boxing. This guy is a 14-1 boxer that is actually related to a former boxing champion, which is absolutely insane. We know he beat Woodley twice, Askren, Nate Robinson, Ali Songib, whatever the case may be. He was supposed to fight Tommy Fury twice, kept on getting canceled. Now he's going to be fighting Hasim Rahman right here in boxing. I'm not too sure how many rounds. I'm not too sure really what weight class is going to be, but he's not going to be fighting Tommy Fury. Maybe they'll reschedule that fight for a later date or whatever the case may be. But now this is going to be his next opponent. 12-1 boxer that has only lost to Kenzie Morrison, a 20-2 professional boxer right there. That is his only loss in his boxing career, and has gotten a lot of other good knockout wins. Should be a good one. I don't know who wins because I'm not too familiar with Hasim Rahman Jr., but that's the MMA news and boxing news for today's live stream. But put your thoughts down below on this one and the rest of the videos. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.